Hey there, car fans. We all love that feeling you get when you hit the gas in a BMW. It's all about that power, that rush you get when you speed up, leaving everyone else in the dust. But sometimes you just need more. More power, more speed, more horsepower. That's what we're talking about today, folks, getting the absolute most out of your awesome BMW. Some people might say horsepower is just a number. Don't listen to them. It's about how it makes you feel. It's about hearing the engine roar when you push it to the limit. It's about that proud feeling you get when you leave a fancy sports car wondering what just happened. But it's not just about showing off, although that's a nice bonus. More horsepower means passing other cars more safely, speeding up faster out of turns, and just having a more exciting drive overall. It's about making your BMW the best it can be, a true driving machine. So get ready, because we're going on a wild ride to explore how to get more horsepower out of your BMW. We'll talk about everything from simple add-ons to completely changing the engine, all to make your BMW a real speed demon. Let's go. All right, let's get down to business. If you want to boost your BMW's horsepower the good old-fashioned way, mechanical upgrades are the way to go. We're talking about swapping out those standard parts with special performance parts that'll make your engine purr like a kitten. First things first, the lungs of your beast, the intake and exhaust systems. The standard setup is okay, but it's made for quiet driving, not for speed. A high-flow air intake system will let your engine breathe easier, taking in more air for a bigger explosion in the cylinders. Think of it like giving your BMW a breath of fresh air. Next, we need to let those used-up gases escape quickly. A performance exhaust system does exactly that, reducing pressure and freeing up even more power. Plus, it'll give your BMW a throaty growl that'll turn heads wherever you go. And while we're at it, let's not forget about the fuel system. Upgrading to bigger, better fuel injectors makes sure your engine gets the right amount of fuel to handle all that extra air it's sucking in. It's all about getting the perfect mix of air and fuel for the biggest bang, and you guessed it, more horsepower. And lastly, think about a cold air intake. It's a pretty simple upgrade that pulls in colder, denser air from outside the engine. This means more oxygen to burn and a noticeable boost in power, especially when you're pushing the engine hard. It's like giving your BMW a shot of energy. Now you might be thinking, Jeremy, all this mechanical stuff sounds expensive. Don't worry, my friend, because there's a whole world of computer magic that can unlock hidden horsepower in your BMW without spending a fortune. We're talking about ECU tuning, or engine control unit tuning to be exact. This is where things get really cool. The ECU is like the brain of your car, controlling everything from when the spark plugs fire to how much fuel gets injected. By reprogramming it with a performance tune, you can optimize these settings for maximum power and torque. Think of it like this. Your BMW's factory ECU settings are like a well-behaved butler, keeping everything running smoothly and efficiently. But sometimes, you need to let loose. An ECU tune is like swapping that butler for a heavy metal roadie. It'll push your engine harder, squeeze out more power, and generally make things more exciting. There are different levels of ECU tunes, from mild to wild. A Stage 1 tune is a great starting point, giving you a noticeable power boost without pushing your engine too hard. But if you're feeling brave, there are Stage 2 and 3 tunes that go even further, often needing additional hardware upgrades like a new turbocharger or intercooler to handle all that extra power. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Always get your ECU tuning done by a trustworthy expert who knows BMWs like the back of their hand. A bad tune can do more harm than good, so don't try to cut corners on this important step. Section 4, going pro advanced upgrades for the true BMW Fanatic. Now, for those of you who really want to see what's possible, listen up. We're talking about the kind of upgrades that'll make your BMW a real monster. You have been warned. First up, the turbocharger. This amazing device forces more air into the engine, giving you a huge power boost. Upgrading to a bigger, better turbocharger can turn your BMW into a rocket. Just be ready for a little bit of turbo lag, that tiny delay before the boost kicks in. Next, we need to keep things cool under pressure. An upgraded intercooler does just that, cooling the air that the turbocharger compresses before it goes into the engine. This denser, cooler air means more power and less chance of engine knocking. It's like giving your engine a refreshing cold drink after a hard workout. But the ultimate upgrade, the holy grail of horsepower, is the engine swap. This is not for the casual driver. We're talking about taking out your BMW's standard engine and putting in a bigger, more powerful one. It's a huge job, but the results can be mind-blowing. Imagine a classic BMW 3 Series with a powerful V8 engine under the hood. Now that's what I call an upgrade. Section 5. Power on a budget, cost-effective horsepower boosts. Now I know what you're thinking. Jeremy, all this talk of turbos and engine swaps is great, but my bank account might disagree. Well, don't worry, my friend, because there are plenty of ways to get more horsepower out of your BMW without spending a fortune. One of the simplest and best is a good old-fashioned tune-up. Make sure your engine is in tip-top shape with fresh spark plugs, new filters, and clean fluids. You'd be surprised how much power a neglected engine can lose over time. Next, think about some lighter parts. Replacing heavy steel parts with lighter aluminum or carbon fiber ones can free up horsepower by reducing your BMW's overall weight. Think lightweight wheels, a carbon fiber hood, or even lighter seats. Every little bit helps. And finally, the cheapest upgrade of all, become a better driver. Learn how to shift gears smoothly, brake efficiently, and maintain speed through corners. You'd be amazed at how much faster you can be with a bit of practice and some good old-fashioned driving skill. Section 6. Tread carefully, maintenance and professional guidance. Now, before you go bolting on a massive turbocharger and hitting the highway, a word of caution. Modifying your car, especially when it comes to increasing horsepower, can put extra stress on your engine and other parts. That's why regular maintenance is super important. Make sure you're keeping up with your BMW's service schedule, using high-quality fluids, and fixing any problems right away. A well-maintained car is a happy car, and a happy car is less likely to leave you stranded on the side of the road with engine trouble. And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask for help from the pros. Find a trustworthy BMW specialist who knows all about performance upgrades and can help you through the process. They can help you choose the right upgrades for your budget and driving style, make sure everything is installed correctly, and even fine-tune your car to get the most out of your horsepower gains. Remember, a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. Do your research, ask questions, and don't be afraid to walk away if you're not comfortable with something. It's your BMW after all, and you want to enjoy it for years to come. Section 7, the ultimate driving machine, upgraded, a final word. So there you have it, folks. We've covered everything from simple add-ons to completely swapping out the engine, all to make your BMW more powerful and unlock its true potential. Whether you're a car expert or just love driving, there's an upgrade out there for you. Just remember, horsepower is addictive. Once you've felt the thrill of a tuned-up BMW, there's no going back. You'll be chasing that adrenaline rush, that feeling of power every time you get behind the wheel. And that, my friends, is what makes owning a BMW so much fun. Now go out there and make those German horses sing. Just be sure to take me for a ride when you're done.